and then she tests it on her hand. When I say this makeup was white, yeah, white is an understatement. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing things a little different. I feel really excited because I am standing today. I'm not sitting down. I'm not gonna be out of breath. I will be okay. So today I'm here with a story time. Story time. I don't know what I'm doing. Let me stop. Sorry. Today I'm here with a story time, and I haven't done a story time in a long time because like the first story time I did, I took that down because just didn't like it. Wasn't really feeling it, so I took it down. But the video is out for the people who are curious. The video is out, so you guys can try and guess who I was talking about. But anyways, yeah. So let's get into it. Before I get into this, I know some people will listen to this story and think I'm sore or like I'm salty about something or something like that. I'm not salty about anything. I feel like I dodged a bullet, okay? I dodged a bullet because I'm not salty about it or anything like that. So anyways, let's get right into it today. I don't know why I'm acting like this, to be honest. I don't know, but this is honestly my real personality, so yeah. So today I will be talking about a casting call gone wrong, but I know some people don't know what a casting call is. So by the end of this video, I hope you know what I'm talking about. So this guy messaged me on Instagram for this modeling agency, and I accepted the request, and he was basically like, hey, my name is, what we gonna name him? We need a name because I can't say his real name. He has a very generic name, but it's a fake name obviously, but we gonna call him Shady because he was very, very, very shady. Okay. So we're gonna call him Shady for now. So Shady messaged me on Instagram, and he's like, hey, I am Shady from this modeling agency in Korea, and we would really want to work for you. I wish. We would really want to work with you for this coming up commercial that we have for makeup and stuff. And I'm like, okay, cool. And I'm like, what information do you need from me? And he's like, just the basics. And I sent him my portfolio. And he was like, okay, can I get your Kakao Talk? Now it's very normal for me to give out my Kakao Talk to people who want to work with me. So I gave out my Kakao Talk, and maybe like 3 minutes later, this guy messaged me. And I'm like, okay, cool. And we're texting back and forth, and the first thing he texts me is, are you available for this day, this time, for this type of shoot? No, hi, how are you? How is your day? Did you eat yet? No, he didn't care. He was just like, I'm trying to get you for my job, and that's it. Which I'm cool with because we're not friends. You don't need to ask me how I am. But I was just like taken aback because like the people I've worked with before are very like friendly and like ask for my name and ask how I've been, blah, blah, blah. But this guy was not having none of that. He was basically like, are you free or no? So I'm like, yeah, I'm free. Like, what's good? And then he tells me it's it's a startup makeup company in Korea that needs a model for their new commercial for a startup. Now, this is why I'm calling him Shady. But as soon as he told me that, I was like, but I'm black. Why do you need me? I'm black. There's no way I can appeal to a Korean person buying makeup because they don't match anything I match with. You know what I mean? Because Korea doesn't really have black people makeup. So I was like, why would you need a black model? But I didn't ask him. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna ask because he seemed like he was very adamant about what he wanted, and I was like, okay, cool, I'm available, I'll meet you that day. So the day comes, I was running late because I couldn't freaking find this address. I couldn't find it at all, but I ended up finding it. I gave it to the taxi driver, and as soon as I got there with the taxi, the client was coming into the building, so I was like 2 seconds behind them. So I see the client go, and I let them go to the elevator first because I didn't want to have that awkward like elevator talk. That's just awkward. So I just let them go with the elevator, and I wait for the elevator to come back down. The elevator comes, I get on the elevator, they're on like the 3rd floor, and I'm like following the signs for the agency, like following that. I get to the 3rd floor, the door's open. The first thing I see, y'all, was a bed. Why is there a bed? Why am I seeing a bed? So there was a bed, I get there, there's a bed, and I'm like, okay, that's definitely not for me, I'll tell you that. And I'm like, okay, ignored it, and I kind of just like walked into the building. I walk in there, and it's very dark. It's like a shady mood, that's why I'm calling him Shady. It was like a very shady mood. Walk in, there are 2 employees there, they're just chatting it up, getting some water from the water fountain. I walk in, I'm like, hey, I'm looking for Shady. And they're like, oh, he's right in there, just walk in. So I'm just like, this is a little creepy at this moment. So I walk in and I see another girl there, and then I see the client and Shady. And then I'm like, oh, okay, there's another girl, so I guess this is actually a scouting. It's not like I had the job, definitely. And I was like, okay, cool. We're gonna call this girl we're gonna call this girl Neve because Catfish is on and Neve is the guy's name. So we're gonna call her Neve. So Neve is sitting there, and Neve is half Korean, half white. So she knew Korean because her mother was Korean, so she was speaking to them in Korean. That's kind of important for the story if you want to keep that in mind. So I sit down, I say hi to them, I like bow, whatever, I sit down. And they hadn't started yet, like Shady and the client were still talking, like they weren't really even talking to the girl. So I sit down and I'm like waiting, and I smile at like Neve, and I'm like, hey, and I'm like, we couldn't really talk because that would be rude because the client was kind of talking. So we're just waiting, and then the client pulls out a portfolio. So she basically like out her bag, she pulls out this portfolio. And I was looking at the portfolio, and the portfolio was full of white models. It was no black model, no Asian model, nothing. So I was like, and basically usually a portfolio kind of mimics what they want for the real thing. So I'm kind of just like, why am I here? I started questioning myself. I'm like, why am I sitting here? The girl was next to me. Neve was perfect, like light skinned. She was like matching the girl. So I was like, that makes sense why she would get this job. But like, I was questioning like, why am I here? Like, I'm black, like why am I here? So I'm like, okay, and she starts showing us, she starts flipping through the pictures, and we're like looking at it. And as she's flipping through, I started noticing she's kind of more to Neve's side than my side. And what I mean by that is like, she's more like talking to Neve and not really me. So they're talking, and then she looks up to start talking to us, explaining the commercial. This lady does not look at me even once. She did not look at me at all. Even Shady at this moment is not looking at me either. So I'm just like, can I leave? Like I want to leave then. If I don't have anything to do here, I can leave and I can go back to sleep because. And then it gets to the point where we have to introduce ourselves, like it's a commercial shoot. Like we have to introduce ourselves like we would for a commercial. And they start with Neve. They're like, Neve, can you introduce yourself, your name, your hobbies, cool, blah blah blah. She introduces herself, and she's very like bubbly and very like egg yo, and like, oh my god, I hope up. And then they get to me, and I'm like, I can't do egg yo. It's not my thing. Like every time I try, it just makes me want to kind of throw up, you know what I mean? So I'm just like, I'm dreading even my turn. I tried really hard because like egg yo is really not my thing, but obviously for a job, you just have to compromise with whatever you're given. So yeah, they finish that, and then they go back to talking to Neve. And then she's just like nodding. She's talking back to them in Korean. Okay. So when they were telling me to introduce myself, they found out I knew Korean because my whole introduction was in Korean. I was asking them questions in Korean. And as soon as I started speaking Korean, they were taken back because they didn't expect it. They were just kind of like, oh, you know Korean? And I'm like, yeah, I can understand everything you're saying. So we went through that whole thing, but I also guess it's not really the Korean that was making them not talk to me, because as soon as the introduction finished, the client was still looking at Neve and like talking to Neve and not really me. Like I was kind of like filling the space. Like no one was paying attention to Paris, and Paris was just there to look like she's looking. That's it. They finished, and then the client is talking to Shady about how they met me and like met Neve, and then Shady started lying, okay? So basically he's like asking them like, oh, how did you meet her? Like, how did you scout her? And then Shady starts talking about, I've worked with her for a year. She's been working with me for a while. And I'm like, since when did I start working for you? I don't even know your name like that. I just know your first name, that's it. Like, why is he lying? Like, don't lie. You met me on Instagram, okay? You didn't even care for my name, okay? But whatever, he ends up lying about that, and I was just very lost. I was like, don't lie, okay? And when we were leaving, the client pulls out a bag of cosmetics. And you could see they were all testing samples because none of them had their company logo on it. And she's like, I have a few samples. And when I say she pulled out a bag, if this was the bag, it was full. It was full of cosmetics, okay? It was full. And she's like, oh, I have a few samples here for you guys to try. And I'm sorry, I only have one to give to you guys. I'm sorry. She's like, I only have one to give to you guys. And then she pulls out like one set of the thousands that she has. She pulls that one set, and it has like, I could see that it has 2 cushion foundations and like a few other things, and she gives it to Neve. She gives it to Neve, and Neve is like, thank you. And she's like, I only have one, so I can only give it to one of you guys, and she gives it to Neve. I wasn't sour about it because I was like, probably this makeup is not gonna match me at all. So I was not sour about it at all. But I was just kind of like, what do you mean you only have one when your whole bag is full? But whatever, we're not complaining over here. So Neve takes the bag and we're walking out. We're like, thank you, thank you, thank you. And they're like, we'll stay back and talk about it with you. I'll talk to Shady more about you guys and we'll decide who we will pick. And I'm just like, please pick Neve. I'm not fit for this. I can't do this. But I didn't say that, of course. I kept it in my head. But we're walking out and Shady follows us to the elevator. When we get to the elevator, Neve is like, hey, do you want me to like give you one of the compacts? Like I can like share, because it makes no sense for them to think that this is only for one person. And I'm like, no, it's okay. I don't think it can really match me. Like you can totally keep it. It's totally fine. And then Neve takes the compact out, like the little cushion foundation out, and then she tests it on her hand. When I say this makeup was white, y'all, white is an understatement. It was like this bright. It was so bright. I was lost in why they needed me. And it just kept repeating, like, why do you need me when your cosmetics clearly don't fit me? So I was very confused. So I just kept repeating in my head, like, why do they need me? Why do they need me? I don't get it. So we ended up leaving. Shady still didn't really talk to me. Like, I never really had a conversation with this guy. I never really learned his last name. I never learned anything about him, actually. So that was it with Shady. And then me and Neve ended up walking to the subway and we ended up talking. And she told me that he also messaged her on Instagram very vaguely. And then that's basically the end of the story. And then I ended up going home. And maybe I was overthinking, I don't know. But it seems like I was just like wondering, like, why is it that you needed a black model for a company that doesn't sell black cosmetics? And then I was talking to my friend about it and they were like, maybe it was a comparison, like, you know, like really dark, it can be pretty bright, because Korea has still an obsession on like the whiter you are, the pale you are, the prettier you are. So we were thinking like maybe it was like a comparison, like they just wanted to be like, one model is really dark and then there's this model who's like angelically white or whatever you want to call it. So I started thinking that, but I ended up I stopped talking, my British accent. I ended up deleting the guy's contact, Shady's contact, never talked to him again. I never really cared to even want to know if I wasn't picked or if I was picked. I just didn't really want to work with him ever again because it just put a really bad taste in my mouth. And the fact that none of them were really paying attention to me, I was like, that means I definitely don't have the job. So like, there's no reason for me to continue a relationship with you if you're not even going to respect me when I actually come out for a job, spend my money to come to get there on a taxi. Like, I was just very like annoyed at that aspect, but I wasn't annoyed at the aspect that I didn't get the job. If I didn't, I don't know, but like I didn't get the job. I wasn't angry at that. I had a lot more jobs that I had like I loved, and a lot more agencies that I met that I loved. So I didn't like him as a person. I also didn't like the client at all because she was very rude. But that's it. And that was like one of the stories of like shady businesses that were going around, because even the office was a little shady. Everything about him was shady, to be honest. To be honest, it was shady. I'm still like, why did they need, like, does anybody know why they would need a black model? Because I can't put two and two together why I was supposed to be there or why they needed me there. I don't know. But anyways, that's the story, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed listening. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe, like down below, and also share with your friends. And also, if anybody can think of why they needed a black model, comment down below and tell me, because I still can't see why I was needed and why I had to waste my time and go to this audition, okay? I don't know. But anyways, it was a good experience, I guess. I don't know. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys. Oh, my nails look really ratchet, and you guys looked at it. Sorry. Bye, guys.